In this video, we are going to discuss about the issues that we face in SSRS. Basically, generally, when people start learning SSRS, they may encounter a lot of issues, and this is one common issue that any fresher will come through whenever they're trying to practice the designing of reports. Now, let's discuss about this issue. If you see the issue, the report parameter color param has a default value or a valid value that depends on the report param, color param. Forward dependencies are not valid. What is meant by forward dependencies? By seeing this error, you don't get any clue. It is like an alien to us. If you see the error message what SSRS server has provided, you can't understand anything. The only thing that helps us in finding the issue here, a root cause for this issue here is the last phrase, that is forward dependencies are not valid. What is meant by these forward dependencies? Let's see. I designed a report just to demonstrate the same. So let's jump into that and have a discussion on this now. To demonstrate the same, I designed a report here. You can see I have taken a table report where I have a couple of columns like class, color, product, sales amount, and tax amount. I'm getting the data from the database, using the data set. Embed is the name of the data set, and you can see I'm pulling top 3000 records from the table by joining dim product and packed internet sales. I have a condition here. I want to pull the products based on the color, whatever I select as part of my parameter. This looks good. The query looks good, and you can see the parameter mapping is done properly. The parameter name, this is the one whatever we used in our query, also called as query parameter. And this is the report parameter. You can see the report parameter I have defined here. Now, let's see what the properties set for this report parameter. If you see the report parameter, this first page looks good. It doesn't allow multiple values. It allows only single values. If you want to allow multiple values, you have to check this box. Right now, I'm not going to concentrate on that. My interest is to fix the issue here. Now, if I go to the available values, this parameter is getting values from the embed data set, and the value field and the label field is the column color defined in the data set. Now, this is the problem. The forward dependencies means, if you see, there is a loop here. Embed data set is expecting a parameter value from this parameter, that is color parameter. And this color parameter is expecting the data from this embed data set. So if you see, if this guy executes, then only data will be coming for this parameter, that is the color column, as I have configured here. You can see it clearly. In the same way, I have one where condition in this data set, that is where color is equal to color, which means I have to pass the color. Okay, I have to pass the color from parameter, the value whatever I select, to this data set. So I'm stuck here. This data set has to be executed to load, but to execute this data set, I need value from this color parameter. So this is called forward dependencies. So how to solve these kind of issues? If you come across these kind of issues, whenever you start practicing on SSRS, then this is the most frequently getting an error or issue for you guys. And mainly when you start working on parameters, and when you try to configure or try with cascading parameters, then you will come across these issues very frequently. Now let's see what's the fix. First, I will remove the dependency at one end. So I'm not taking the value from the data set. So now this is an enterable field. If you preview it, you can see it is not gonna get any value from anywhere. This is an enterable field, that is text box. So you can enter whatever you want. You can filter based on the color. So the job is done. But the job is not completely done. The issue is solved. But I have to get value. The value should be loaded. The value should be automatically filled so that user can select the data whatever he wants to see. For example, if you want to see yellow color, it should be a selectable field rather than enterable field. So how can we configure that? So the person who has created this issue is not aware of creating the next data set. So to provide the data to this particular parameter, you need a data set. Instead of creating a new data set, when I was generating this issue, I use the same data set which is having a reference to this parameter. Though that was the problem. So what we need to do here is I have to create one more data set which feeds values to this parameter. So if you see here, I'm taking a parameter, I'm taking a data set name color ds, and I'm writing my query like this. Select distinct color from dim product. Now, if I set the available values instead of using the embed dataset, you have to use color dataset, and the value field is color and the name field is color. Now let's see how this guy looks. If I go to the preview, you can see the values are getting loaded, and if I select blue, it is filtering based on blue. So what I have done here is I created a data set which loads the data to this parameter. So first, this guy has no where condition, that means no dependency. So this guy loads the data to this. First job is done. When I select a parameter, this guy passes the value to this data set, and this data set will be executed and the data will be shown in the report. So there is no dependency on on two things. Forward dependencies. Earlier case, I was trying to load this data, the color parameter data, using the same data set which is using the reference, which is having a reference to that parameter. So this is one way, means this data set. Let me erase this part. I'll write fresh. So earlier case, this guy is expecting value from here, and this guy is expecting value from here. So there was a deadlock. So that's the cause for the issue, and that issue is called the error message will be given as forward dependencies are not supported. So to solve the same, I created a new data set where I will get the data to load this report parameter, and this report parameter will pass value to this query parameter in the data set embed. So this is how you can solve the issue forward dependencies in SSRS. Hope you got a clear picture about this. All the best for your coding. Thank you.